we say the God that is in within us, in our deeper and deeper, in our subconscious and beyond our subconscious, in our superconscious, those sparks of Godhood are there in our superconscious. First of all, we must understand like that. Then and then only the mechanism of the prayer we can understand. What is that? Suppose we are praying here and someone listens and grant our petition. It is not like that. Deep down in within heart of our hearts, we deeper and deeper we go. Then what happens? Something happens in within us. If from scientific point of view, what is prayer? The prayer has been just like principle of auto-suggestion. It works. Definitely it works. When deeper and deeper you go and with your intense feeling you pray, then it works. From religious point of view, we can say it is power of the prayer. From scientific point of view, we can definitely say it has been the power of our own auto-suggestion. Deep auto-suggestion takes shape of the prayer. These real prayers are sooner or later answered. Truth of truth is this: God is in within us and we are in Him. In our deeper self, there is something that links us, joins us, connects us to that infinite mind. Psychologically, it is the power of suggestion, and religiously, it is the power of the prayer. It is better in prayer to have a heart without words than words without a heart. We should understand this principle also. Suppose we are praying and our heart is not there. Our mind wanders from here and there. Then prayer has no effect. Prayer has no effect. This has been a proved scientific axiom. In prayer, a heart without words is much more effective than words without heart. All of us should reflect this truth. The true purpose of prayer is not to instruct God, but to bring ourselves into harmony with God. We should have harmony with God. It is not like that we are instructing God. Oh God, you do this and you don't do this. No. Try to understand the deeper meaning of the prayer. Unless and until we do not understand the deeper meaning of prayer, we cannot do positive prayers, and successful prayers we cannot do. The true purpose of prayer is not to instruct God, but to bring ourselves into harmony with God. We should be in harmony with the God. We are not advising God how He should manage all functions of the world, but we should be in harmony with God. Jainism doesn't believe God as a creator, but Jainism believes there are pure souls like Siddhartha who have achieved total purity. Jainism believes there are Tirthankaras, Arihanta, Namo Arihantanam. As I told you 2 days back, they are on some other planet. And in our last discussion, we have to narrate so many things about them also. So they, when we pray, they are living gods. Just like they are living gods. Just like Mahavir was there 2500 years back. Mahavir was here. He was walking here. He was a walking God himself. He achieved that type of purity, that whatever we thought, whatever we reflected, whatever we felt, he knew that. Mahavir was there as a living God. In the same way, on other 20 planets, there are 20 gods, living gods, walking on those different 20 planets, for which on Friday I am to say many things more also. Prayer is not for material possession. It is not the asking, okay, please, oh God, please give me this or that, but prayer is for our guidance and protection. We must not forget this. God may guide us. Rather, that may be God, or that may be our own superconscious in within us. That may guide us. That may show us some way. We may get some aspiration from the above. We may get that. How to get a particular thing or a particular post, to achieve a particular post, what steps we should take. That may be from our in within, we may be inspired for that. Prayer is power releasing process. What is prayer? As atomic energy, in atomic energy, they found out how to release atomic energy from the atom. In the same way, 5,000 years back, all these religions have discovered that how we can release power from our in within. It is a power releasing process. There are scientific techniques to release atomic energy in the same way. In that very way, prayer is a scientific technique to release spiritual energy. Though today science does not know what is spiritual energy, science knows what is electrical energy, magnetic energy. Science knows the energy of gravitation, but science, modern science, has not still come to that level that it can say anything about spiritual energy. Prayer has been a technique to release this spiritual energy. By prayers, we can receive inspiration, we can receive guidance to solve our problems of daily life. Definitely. This I have experimented with my friends also. There has been some problem in your daily life. Today we shall discuss that also, how we can solve it by prayer. By prayer easily, you get inspiration, you get guidance, what to do, what not to do, and that is possible also, successfully possible. The power of prayer, as Dr. Alexis Carrel has said, so in so many high words, in the same way, a most famous modern psychologist, Carl Gustav Jung, the father of the modern psychology, he has told that there was his 90th birthday, and in Basel, Switzerland, there was a meeting for his honors, and so in that meeting he lectured, and his last words were this: today more than 2,000 persons have gathered here to greet me and to honor me. I, as an old man, I advise them whether they believe in prayer or do not believe in prayer. Carl Gustav Jung, the great psychologist, these are the words not of Kiran Bhai. These are the words of the Carl Gustav Jung, the great psychologist, whose word you might have heard, you might have known also. He told, I advise all my psychiatrists, psychoanalysts and doctor friends, whether they believe in prayer or do not believe, but any person who is above 45 and he is suffering from any disease, all my doctor friends should prescribe prayer as a medicine. Prayer as a medicine. He told, ask them to pray. Ask them to pray. You give them medicine, you give them injunction, you do the treatment, whether you believe or do not believe. But I request you to prescribe them prayer as a medicine. Now the second. What preparation we should do for prayer. This only I have told you in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, only about prayer. Prayer has been a technique. It has been verified. It has been successful. It has been definitely successful. And I also request you, whether you believe in prayer or do not believe, but do prayer. You pray. For 6 months you do it. Genuinely as a scientist. Experiment. In the same way you experiment. Don't say, oh, I don't believe in God and I don't believe in prayer. Who is to respond prayer? It has been nonsense. prayer is superstitious. Please don't say that unless you have not experimented yourself. And I request you to experiment yourself only for 6 months, 180 days regularly if you do. Now, what has been the preparation for the prayer? I like to pray myself now, but particular preparation I must do it. First, understand the mechanism of the prayer. Scientifically speaking, law of autosuggestion works. First of all, we must be convinced in ourselves that sparks of Godhood are in within us. Godhood is in within us. Whether we believe, I believe, I am only Kiran Bhai. But no, in within myself, behind this Kiran Bhai, one who is speaking behind that, behind of the behind, some light is there. In Jainism or in Hinduism, we say the light of the soul, the light of the spirit. And what is that soul? And what is that spirit? It is nothing else but Godhood. It is nothing else but supreme divinity. That supreme divinity has been in within us. We must be convinced that spark of Godhood are in within us and the whole universe in within Godhood. And we all are surrounded by divinity. You never forget that. I sit here and you sit here, but the whole planet, the whole universe has been surrounded by their spiritual energy. Though we do not know anything about their spiritual energy, but the spiritual energy, the Godhood, the godliness has been there. Both mind and speech must be united. This is the preparation for the prayer. We must be convinced before. As you say me, Kiran Bhai, you do prayer, I say yes. See, I am experimenting, let me do prayer. It shall be words without heart. It shall not be real prayer. First of all, I must be convinced myself that deeply if I go in within, then some response is to come. As we know, by negative thoughts, negative things take shape, and by positive attitude, positive thoughts, positive things take shape. In the same way, we must be convinced in our mind first of all, and then in our heart. That is, mind and heart, when unite with each other, then speech comes there. Whatever word I speak, there are three things. One is my mind, it is here. By logic, my mind is convinced. Is there God who is to reply my prayer? No, there is no God. But by power of the autosuggestion, what we reflect often and often what we reflect, it takes shape. It takes shape. We have seen that. And so when our mind is convinced, now in heart we have faith. There should be faith in our heart also. The success of the prayer depends on our own faith also. And so now speech comes. Speech is also necessary. Must be united. We must have faith also. Our prayers should be legitimate. It should be legitimate. We must not think, oh God, all the property of the Rockefeller and Rothschild may convert it into my account. No, it is illegitimate. No, it is illegitimate. When you pray something, you should think it is rightful, not harming anyone. These are the preparation for the prayer. Our prayer should be legitimate. We should pray that which is not harmful to anyone or anything. That which is reasonable, we should be very sincere and act according to our good thoughts. In prayers, you ask for the guidance of the God or the guidance of the Supreme. We ask for that. Submit your will to that of God. We should submit our will to, suppose I pray and pray and pray, and my prayer is not reflected. It has no success. It doesn't take shape. Suppose then what should I do? I should submit that supreme power would have thought something better for me. My attitude should be like that. That supreme power has thought something better for me. And what I am praying for, that might not be good for me also. That might not be good for me also. I should submit my will to that of the God. With intense feeling, we pray to that Supreme, and then with intense feeling we should pray. When we pray, our feeling should be very intense. When I pray, oh God, let this disease may disintegrate from me. Oh God, let this disease be disintegrate from me. I ask your help. I ask your help. It should be with intense feeling. It should be with intense feeling. And then confidentially leave results to that Supreme. And I must not say, oh, since 10 days I am praying and since you are not listening. No. We should leave that confidentially to that Supreme. That Supreme might have seen better things to prolong this disease also. He might have seen that. Pray the purity of your thoughts with purity of your thoughts and feelings. Daily pray for minimum 10 minutes with our full concentration. Pray for spiritual strength. True prayer is always cooperative. We can pray to make the way clear to us. We cannot ask Supreme to relieve us of our responsibility. Prayer is not like that. Oh God, I give this responsibility to you and then I relieve myself of the... No, it is cooperative. It is cooperative. We cannot ask Supreme to relieve us of our responsibility. Every right prayer is answered, though not always in the precise way we desire. Right prayer is always answered. But sometimes we see, oh, as we desired, it has not happened. So there are reasons. And now third, what has been the blueprint of successful prayer? 6 points I have written, one by one. I narrate those 6 points. First of all, set aside few minutes. Daily, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, maximum 5 minutes. If you can, 10 minutes, not more than that. Set aside few minutes every day. Now what to do? Sit into a corner peacefully, totally relaxed, and then do not say anything. In the beginning, don't ask anything, don't demand anything, don't say anything, do not say anything, do not ask anything. Simply practice yourself thinking about God, about divinity, some superior power. Sit aside in the beginning. This has been 3 weeks you do it. In the beginning, sit into a corner and think about a spiritual principle. Suppose you think about God, it is all right. Namo Arihantanam, that is, think about some powerful spirit which is pervading everywhere. But think about that only. I am thinking about that, I am feeling that. I try to visualize the light only. Don't ask, give me this and that. Unless connection has been not made, light is here because it has been connected with some higher powerhouse. Otherwise light would not have been here. First of all, we should connect ourselves with that high powerhouse, we should connect ourselves. And then some supreme force which is working behind all these visible things. Whatever we see, there has been something, some supreme force is behind that. That spiritual principle, say it spiritual principle, say it divinity, say it God. Whatever you like, you say that. Say the Brahma, say the Bhagavan, or whatever you like, you say to that. Try to feel that divine radiation which is all around us. Try to feel it. First, make your mind spiritually receptive. In one word, one sentence, we should make our mind spiritually receptive. For 3 weeks, only 3, 4, 5 minutes we should sit like this and make our mind spiritually receptive. When successful prayer works, this is the blueprint for the successful prayer. Now second point, then pray orally using simple words. After 3 weeks, you pray, you talk into your own natural language. Own natural language. Don't use any Sanskrit slok or any English prayer, nothing. No. As if just you are talking with God. As if God has been now you feel the presence of the God. After 3 weeks, something shall start in within you. And then you talk in simple words, nothing else. Simple words. Talk to God, to Supreme, in your own language. Tell God anything that is in your mind. Tell God anything. Suppose you are disturbed by your boss or something in your own family, there has been problem. Try to release yourself. Don't ask God, oh God, make this and do this. No. You say to God, simply release yourself. First of all, now you have to, this is the second point, where you yourself have to talk with God, releasing yourself in simple everyday talk. Now third point. This third point is like that. Pray only for 1 minute, for 30 seconds, nothing else. It is like that. But pray often and often during the whole day. During the whole day, some 20 times, 30 times, 50 times. Oh God, I am here. I remember you. But say like that, nothing else. Half a minute, 1 minute, close your eyes and try to feel it. Try to feel. This is connection making. Unless connection is not made, we think that we go to temple or we go to some God's photograph and then we pray before him and God shall listen. No. First of all, prepare yourself with this connection. These are prerequisites of the prayer. Closing your eyes, shut out the world and concentrating briefly on the presence of God. The more you do this every day, the nearer you will feel. You will feel the divine presence. Slowly you shall feel that you are surrounded by that divinity. After some 4-5 months you feel like that. You are surrounded by that divinity. You feel. Try to feel God is always with you. But it shall take time. Unless you do not do 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, it is never to happen. You think in your, oh, I feel God is with me. It is very difficult. But try to feel God is always with you. You are going, you are talking, you are sleeping. No. Feel like that. Feel in your mind that God is with you. Try to feel God is always with you. Try to feel you are surrounded by God's love, by God's protection. You feel like that. You are surrounded by God's love, by God's protection. Now the fourth point. Do not ask when you pray. In the beginning, don't ask. Don't ask anything. But affirm that God's blessings you are constantly receiving. Affirm that. Feel gratitude. Often and often feel gratitude. Deep gratitude you feel, oh, I can comfortably breathe. I can talk. I can see. Oh God, I am utmost thankful to you. Try to feel this. Utmost gratitude, try to feel. This fourth point is also utmost important. More gratitude you feel, more connection, more deep connection you are making with Godhood. Often and often feel gratitude, deep gratitude. Often and often give thanks to the Supreme. In so many things always say, I took food today, at once I felt that I am much more thankful for all this beautiful food. If I see a particular vision, I always say to God, oh God, I feel gratitude as I can see and enjoy these things. Suppose something good happens, at once thank God for this happening also. This has been of utmost importance. Fourth point. Now fifth point. Never use any negative thought in prayer. Never use any negative thought in prayer. Only positive thoughts and positive feeling get results. This is of utmost importance in psychology also. Great psychologists say, while giving suggestions to a small child who is sleeping, psychologists say like this, that don't suggest them. Don't suggest them. Okay, don't break things. If you suggest this sleeping child, if you give suggestion like this, okay, don't break glass, then child is definitely to break the glass, because it is a negative suggestion. In the prayer also don't say like that. Okay, oh God, I may not fail in exam. Then the result shall come failing in the exam. This is of utmost importance. You try to understand. Try to reflect this what I have told today and ask day after tomorrow questions also to me about this. Say, Kiran bhai, what you want to say, you clarify in your own mind. I may not get off the job. Oh God, please don't do that. I may be fired from my job. If you ask that, if you pray like this, don't fire. I may not be fired from my job. You are to be fired. You would say, what has been this? No. That because the negative word must not come. Must never come. And this has been not told by religious scriptures. It has been told by great psychologists. It has been told this. And now this is the last one. Always express willingness to accept God's will. You should have willingness to accept God's will. Ask for what you want. Ask for what you want, but be willing to take what you get. Be willing and be happy. And then again thank for that also. Suppose it is not given. Suppose in my prayer I ask for a Mercedes and a bicycle has not been given. I should be thankful of God. I should feel thankful. It is hard. But all superior spiritual things are hard in our life. We should be thankful, because the greater the Supreme would have seen something. The Supreme would have seen that I might get some accident in the motor car if I am driving myself. And so, for my own benefit, my wish has not been granted. There are so many things, our wish is not granted. One short story I remember in the history of the King Akbar. There was one old wazir. He was some 80 years old. Then he always said, oh God, whatever happens is for benefit. Whatever happens has been by your mercy. He felt deeply like that. And that old minister always used to utter these words. Some young minister was very envious of him. What nonsense he is saying always, oh God, you are merciful. If any bad thing happens, then oh, you are so merciful, it has happened for our good. So once it happened like that, King Akbar was examining one sword from the Siroi. He was examining the sword. It was the most precious sword, and that at once his finger was cut by the same sword. And blood was splashing all over on the throne, the blood was splashing. And the old minister uttered the words, oh God, this is your grace. You are highly merciful. Thank God. Thank God. He uttered the words. And at once all the young ministers told Akbar, you see, your finger has been cut. And he gives blessing to the God for this. King Akbar, this has happened. This has been not a story. It is a real incident in history. The Akbar was so enraged, he was so angry on the old minister, he told, take him into the prison. the minister was taken into the prison. While he was going to the prison, he was uttering, "Oh God, you are so merciful. I am utmost thankful for this also." We may not believe this. Akbar didn't believe, and young minister didn't believe, and you and myself are not believing it. But he was taken into the prison. Then what happened? Doctors were called, and then there was a bandage on the finger. Akbar was feeling utmost unhappy for 1 or 2 hours, but after a deep sleep, Akbar was somewhat fresh, and then he told, "I may go on the horse to wander outskirts of the Delhi, I may go there." And when he was going there, he missed the way. All the attendants with him were unable to reach with his horsemeat, and so Akbar went into a jungle. In that jungle, some 60 or 70 primitives, they took hold of the king. And then they took the King Akbar into the deeper part of the jungle, where Akbar was to be sacrificed before he was to be sacrificed, because the head of this primitive son, only son, was sick. And the witch doctor told that if one person is sacrificed into the fire, then this young boy should be saved. And then what happened? Akbar was trembling at that time. No one was there to save the Akbar also. These are the very words of the Akbar. He has narrated this into the Aine Akbari by Abul Fazl. Then what happened? Akbar was brought before the witch doctor. The witch doctor saw all these things. Oh, he told, "What is this?" He told, "My finger has been cut." "Oh, finger is cut? Then this is not the complete body." The devas, the angels would not accept this sacrifice. Get him out of my sight now. You go and try. A complete human body should be there. There should be no cut in the body, he told. And then Akbar was freed from the spot. When in the evening, at night, Akbar came into the Delhi, wandering himself, and then at once went into the prison. He went to the old minister. He told to old minister, "You are perfectly right. Whatever happens, it has been the blessing of the Khuda. It has been the blessing of the God. It has happened for betterment. If my finger would not have cut, I would have been totally cut. I would have been dead into the fire. But Akbar asked also, "I am very sorry. I ask you one thing, when I ordered to take you in the prison, at that time you were saying, 'Oh God, this is your mercy. Whatever happens, it happens for better.' How that happened for better?" The old minister told, "Suppose you would not have sent me into the prison, then you would have taken me as a company with you, and then both of us would have been caught by those primitives, and you would have been saved because your finger was cut, and I would have been thrown into the fire." That was the grace of the Khuda. That was the grace of the God. I am saved because you sent me into the prison. Otherwise I would not have been saved. This trust, what I want to say is this. This last point is this. Always express willingness to accept God's will. Ask for what you want, but be willing to take what you get. It may be better that what you ask for the ability to do your best and to leave the result confidentially to the Supreme. This 6 point